This is Tackle Talk Live, an inside scoop on how, when, and where to catch bass, with a primary focus on Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn. Interviews with anglers who are consistent winners on the tournament trail. Your hosts, Camus Boats Pro Staffer Steve Graff and Gill Fishing Accounts Manager Kevin Jean. Two anglers who understand bass fishing with tournament success on all levels. Anglers willing to share their knowledge to help you become a better fisherman. So sit up and pay close attention as they give detailed tournament information and results. Here are the hosts of Tackle Talk Live, Steve Graff and Kevin Jean.
Welcome to Tackle Talk Live. This is Tuesday, March the 12th of 2024. I'm Camus Boats Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with Gill Fishing Accounts Manager Kevin Jean down there in Lafayette, Louisiana. Today, we're going to wrap up the Brandon Belt Grand Slam event held on Sam Rayburn, where a member of the winning team will be joining us today. Cole Moore of Moore and Miller. Colby Miller was his partner, and they opened up with a great, well, they had a great tournament overall, but it was a 3-day event, and they brought home the big trophy at the end of it when it was all said and done. And they're going to give us, Cole's going to come on and tell us all the secret places, so make sure you have your pen and paper handy. He's going to make sure you take notes. He's going to tell you everything he caught them on, GPS coordinates, the whole 9 yards, so just get ready. And but we're also going to wrap up, Kevin, the Despino Tire Fishing for Kids event that so many eyes were on to see what the turnout was going to be.
Steve, and not just eyes from our area, nationwide eyes was on this event. And I know that because I've talked to several podcast people that have called me that just I know from inside the industry, people that have podcasts, that this is a no forward-facing sonar tournament. Yep. So everybody was kind of watching, seeing what the turnout was going to be like, see what the reaction was like. Steve, they had 281 boats.
Yep.
So, I mean, people enjoyed it. I talked to several people that fished it. That said, Kevin, I just had a blast. I went fishing like I used to fish. Everything I'm hearing is all positive coming from this event, Steve. So we'll see what the reaction is down the road from this, having this kind of, how many other tournaments? I know you said you've already talked to a few tournament directors that are talking about possibly going no forward facing sonar just for like an annual tournament, not a deal. Right. But Steve, I've also talked to a person that runs a tournament trail that is in discussion on possibly doing that for their tournament trail. So who knows what's going to happen from here.
Yeah, and I think this could be a domino effect, Kevin, as we can move forward with all these tournaments, and Randy Despino kind of being the first one to step out there on that high dive, and but he made a big splash in the end, and record number most they've ever had. So, but we'll talk more about that later on in the program. We've got the BFL results from Toledo Bend along with lake reports. I've got a special product of the week. You can't buy it, but if you find it, it is so handy. You'll think, oh my gosh, this is really cool. I've given 2 or 3 of them away. I think I might have even given Kevin one of these, but anyway. We'll talk about all this and more, and we're going to have Cole Moore on as soon as we return with more Tackle Talk Live. We'll be right back.
A good marine dealer is hard to find, but a great dealer is even harder. But in Iowa, Louisiana, there's a marine dealer that falls into the great category, Power Implements Marine, South Louisiana's go-to dealer for all things related to the boating industry. A Minn Kota, Garmin, and Mercury dealer, guaranteeing you first-rate service in both sales and repair. A great selection of new and used boats to choose from, including Skeeter, G3, Ranger, Camus, and Go Devil. A knowledgeable staff that will treat you like family and are always willing to go the extra mile to ensure you walk out a happy customer. To see everything they have to offer, go to powerimplements.com or stop by 606 East Miller Street in Iowa, Louisiana. Plus, mention Tackle Talk Live and save $500 off a new or pre-owned boat or $50 off your first service ticket. Toledo Health is a full-service primary and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's needed and convenient to the area. Nothing is worse than being sick on your family or fishing getaway. Whether it's a stomach virus or a hook in the hand, Toledo Healthcare will try and meet all your health care needs. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. So the next time you're feeling down at Toledo Bend, stop by Toledo Healthcare, located on Highway 6 just south of Toledo Town, or call 318-508-5323. Very few stores are a complete one-stop shop, but Cypress Knee Outdoors is such a place. A store within a store. Cypress Knee is located inside 3J's Four-Way. Whether you need gas, food, drinks, or bait and tackle, they have it. Cypress Knee Outdoors carries top-name fishing brands like Strike King, Sandtone, Spro, and V&M. Crappie jigs from Bobby Garland. Need hunting gear? They have it. Ammunition from rifle to shotgun shells. Deer scents from Buck Wild and Doe and Heat. Deer stands from Titan and feeders from T-Hanger. Cypress Knee has it all. Located off I-49, exit 127, just south of Natchitoches, Louisiana. So stop by Cypress Knee Outdoors and let John Abram and his staff show you everything they have to offer. Or give them a call at 318-238-HUNT. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome back to Tackle Talk Live. Again, I'm Iowa Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with Gill Fishing Accounts Manager Kevin Jean. This segment presented by Toledo Health, 3J's Four-Way, home of Cypress Knee Outdoors, and Power Implements Marine, located right there in Iowa, Louisiana. If you mention Tackle Talk Live, you'll get either $500 off the purchase of a new or used boat, or you can get $50 off your first service ticket. So make sure when you go to any of our sponsors, Toledo Health, 3J's Four-Way, let them know that, and Power Implements Marine, let them know that you listen to Tackle Talk Live. We really would appreciate it. Helps us out, helps them out, and everybody wins. So, we appreciate you doing that. Also, right now on the Tackle Talk hotline, we've got Cole Moore, part of the winning team. Him and his partner, Colby Miller, they won the, not Despino, they won the Brandon Belt. A little more money for Brandon Belt than Despino. Yeah. But anyway, we got Cole Moore on. Cole, hey, dude, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day. We know you're on the water, and just want to pick your brain, man, as to how y'all pulled that win out and what all was involved. How was, I guess the first question, Kevin, we can start with, how was practice?
Man, yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all bringing us on. As far as practice goes, say we had maybe 2 or 3 days of official practice. We used 2. We went over there, I think, Tuesday. We split up, and 2 different boats. Colby went one way of the lake. I went to the other area. Just to see what we could gather, which area, we thought we needed to go in the right direction for the last day of practice to really focus on. And we both found some fish, both ways. I went one way, and, man, I found several schools of fish. You could catch the crap out of them. Nothing big enough, though, that I really liked. I didn't really just hammer on them, but I told Cole, I was like, if we get in a bind, we can go that way and probably salvage a day and catch a decent bag, but I don't think that's where we're going to win it. So the last day of practice, man, we and of course, I mean, as everybody knows, Colby was on some big fish for the Toyota that he won over there. I ended up 4th in a total different area of the lake. There was good stringers on both ends of the lake, and a couple of his places still he didn't even really check. It's like, man, it was too good just not to hit during the tournament. So we really kind of kept that in our mind, just didn't practice on it as a backup plan. And really, it's one of them deals. We checked a few areas, shook some fish off. Right, they was sitting right where they're supposed to be. So we was feeling pretty good, not necessarily, by no means thinking we was about to win it. We thought we could catch 3 decent bags 3 days in a row until it was probably 11 or 12 o'clock last day of practice, we was just kind of scoping along through a drain, just see if there was any fish, bait, anything in the a place that I like to live scope. And man, I just happened to look to the left, and there's a few boats in the area. And I told Colby, I was like, "Look at that!" I was like, "I don't know if that's all bass." And I was like, "That's too good to be true." So we just went on about our business. We didn't really cast or nothing. And at the end of the day, it was like, we had a few places we wanted to start day one. We really never fished that spot. So I said, let's just go make a cast to see if it's legit. And we pulled it back up to it, and my first cast, about a 5 or 6 pounder, come up and jumped off. I was like, well, okay, there's big ones. So it kind of gave us a warm, fuzzy feeling about it. We really still didn't know what to expect. So practice went pretty good. We, like I say, we was both pretty confident we was going to catch fish about everywhere we went. And so did everybody else. Everybody talked about catching a bunch of fish during the tournament.
Yeah, I heard Cole in the tournament, in the practice over there, it was just stupid. I mean, I heard size and numbers and everything else from the couple of guys I talked to. It was on fire, and obviously on day one, it was on fire as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was definitely on fire. We had one of them magical days, that you dream about having, especially in a tournament like that.
Yeah, I mean,
big bags
day one,
caught some big bags. Do what?
Yeah, so day one you had 35.08. I mean, setting in first place. It's a 3-day tournament. You catch 35.08, which of course at Sam Rayburn, you're never, I'm not gonna say satisfied, but you never feel confident. Hey, we got this one in the bag, and it turned out to be a very, very close ending. But before we get to days 2 and 3, practice went well. You found that big school at the end of the last day. Let's talk about this 35 pounds on day one, the man that kind of got y'all's tournament going. Kind of take us through day one and how it all went down.
Right. Man, like I said, we didn't know what to expect, and we pulled up there. Well, first cast, I've never done this. First cast for the Brandon Belt was at 6:08 a.m. Me and Colby normally don't wake up that early. We normally don't wake up that early, so we didn't know where to catch a bass that early. And so we pulled up on the spot. We ain't got a bite. We finally quit casting. I told him, I was like, man, the sun's got to get over them trees for them fish to get up there and start feeding or doing anything, in my opinion. So I told him, I was like, quit casting in there. Let's just cast the other way, just out in the middle of the blue. Just literally, we was just sitting there talking. And 7 o'clock hit. And I don't know if he or one of us threw up in there first. And as soon as it hit the water.
Now we say up in there. Is this the place that you found the end of practice, like 12 o'clock on the last day?
Yes, this is it. And it's not like a scoping hole. This is a school of bass sitting way shallower than I would ever expect them to be. That many fish. That's what's crazy about Rayburn. I still haven't figured it out why they do it, but I'm talking hundreds of bass be sitting in 2 or 3, 4 foot of water on the same spot. I don't understand it, but they do it up there.
That don't even sound like a staging spot. I mean, that's weird.
It's in the right location for fish to be staging, but like you say, the depth is crazy for there to be that many. But that wasn't just that one spot. There's schools over there in 2 to 6 foot of water, all up and down that lake that we found. That just not all of them had good fish in them. But anyway, for day one,
hey Cole, I got a good question. Cole, I got a good question. Do you think the pressure on the regular drop-offs with forward-facing sonar or any electronics may have forced these fish up a little shallower?
No, I think they saw what they always do. Me and Colby
just
looked up and finally found one of them holes. It's not like you don't look at I couldn't tell you to look at your hummingbird and say, this is what you need to go look for, because we're looking at it and we're like, we don't even know how to expand on this, because there should not be a bass here, but there is a load of them for some reason. It was kind of one of them deals. But anyway, so we got the school fired up at about 7:15, 7:30, and went to catching them, just a lot of smaller fish. I caught one maybe close to 4 pounds, and then Colby threw kind of to the left of where they should have been, and that's when he caught the first one. As I caught it, I put it in the net, and I was like, that's a good one, 7 or 8 pounder. Well, he put it on scale. He's like, dude, that's a 10. And I was like, well, heck, even better. No, I'll take that. And
Dang.
so that started. I was like, well, that's one. I said, we need 4 more. And we didn't get no more off of that one. So then we had a little milk run of 4 or 5 places that been holding some good fish, and pull up to the next spot. It is one of them spots that Colby had fished, and he's like, they ought to be right up there. He threw a crankbait in there. First cast caught like 5 3/4. So we put that one in the box. That's 2. And at the time, that gave us like, with around 24, 25 pounds. And really didn't make Colby through it. Colby caught a couple little ones, like as I'm putting that one in the live well, and we left and went to the next spot. As soon as we pull up, first cast, 5.5 pounder, put it in the boat, put it on scale. It's like, all right, so now we're high 20s. We're up there 28, 29, which is a good bag, but still, it's like you got a 10 pounder in the box. You a lot of times you try to take advantage of that. You know, you have opportunity to catch a big bag when you have that.
Right.
Right. We did fish another spot we had confidence in, didn't get a bite. And so we went to kind of a drain. And man, when I put the trolling motor down, there's one sitting under us, and it didn't really want my A-rig. And I told Colby to pick up that little, whatever it is, little minnow. He flipped it over and caught it. It was a 7. So then at that time, it kind of hits you like where something magical is happening. We've got 30, 32, 33 pounds right now, and we got a 3.5 pounder in the box for our bottom fish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really that's at like 10:30 or so. It was mid morning. It happened pretty fast. And we was close to the edge of the grass, and I told him, I was like, well, there's the last one right there. Threw my A-rig over, and it run up there and bit it, and I put it in the boat, and he put it on scale. It was like a 6 1/4, and but that's how he said. He come back up there. He said, "You can just pick trolling motor up. I don't think we can upgrade from this. Let's ease on back." And that's one of the magical days you have with your best friend. And man, for the rest of the day, we just went and had fun. We bed fished. We caught them out the grass. We just caught fish all the way back down to the lake, all the way to the way in. Like it couldn't get no better.
Did you try to weigh in early with that kind of weight? Did you think, well, we might want to go ahead and go in a little early?
No, we was catching them too good. The little ones, we was having fun. We didn't.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, it went 3 hours of us not even catching a fish over like 3 pounds. Like it don't even feel like we got 35 pounds in the box no more. It don't even feel that way. But still, when you look in the live well and you see them, there's a different feeling.
So you're fishing for $150,000. You roll up with 35 pounds, and there is 2 other 30-pound stringers, correct?
That is correct. It was one of them deals like I really and the weights, man. I really figured there would be at least 2 or 3, high 20s right at that 30, maybe somebody with 30. We weighed in. We was actually like one of the earlier flights, so we had to check in at like 3 or 3:15, and we weighed in. And we like the second place stringer was like 27 or 28 pounds at the time. And we're sitting there, and I mean, the numerous of 27 to 32 pound stringers kept coming. And it was insane. I think 35 bags over 20 pounds day one.
Yeah.
It was obvious. It was obvious the big ones bit that day.
Well, just to finish in the top 20, you had to have over 17 pounds a day just to make the top 20. I mean, that says now, Cole, here's a little thing going on the internet right now, on Facebook especially. There's been some people, and of course, it's every tournament. We all know, me, you, Kevin, we all fish tournaments. We all understand that it's a different era. It's a different time. But you got guys coming in on people's spots now, especially after 1 or 2 days on a 3-day event. It's even harder for a guy or a team to go out there and win a 3-day, because usually by day 3, somebody figures out where you're at, what you're doing, and here they come, and they jumping on your spot and hole jumping on you. How are y'all preventing that from happening in this kind of event? Because I know it went on.
It did. Me and Colby actually had some good luck. We really didn't have much of that problem. There was and we heard of some people having that kind of problem. We got lucky, I guess it was meant for us to win it or whatever. We really didn't have that problem. We had a little milk run, and I think one thing that did help us is when we pulled up to the spots, it would happen quick and we would leave. So nobody really got to see a whole lot of stuff. And, they're like, well, there must be some fish there, but maybe not that good of a spot. They just hit it and left.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
I guess we got lucky on that. But I guess going in, like you say, the weights are so high on day one. We really didn't know what to expect day two.
Yeah.
So we kind of run our same little milk run, maybe a different routine. But what's crazy about it was at 10 o'clock, we should have had as much as we had on day one, but we have lost. We've had 6 big bites over. We had 6 bites over 5 pounds and only put one of them in the boat. And it was like, just had to sit down and just think, like, I don't know what's happening right now. None of it was our fault. Just purity. There was nothing you could do about it. Some of them hang up on a stump,
on that
break
same
your
shallow
line.
spot, Cole. Where'd y'all start on the same shallow spot or running around?
No, I'm talking like one big one. Actually, Colby lost 10-pounder, the same cast, caught a 10-pounder, literally halfway to the boat. It got him right. He set the hook, and I was like, big one. And before he could say it come up out the water and same size as the one day before. And I was like, yeah, that's her. And halfway to the boat, just didn't even know there was a stump there, man. And of course, she figured out how to find it, wrapped him up, and there was nothing we could do. She broke him off, and we run our same little milk run and pull up. You make the cast, get the bite. It's a big one, and I'm talking about just come unbuttoned. And I will give it to Colby, and that's them pros. They that's what makes them different from a lot of other people is they can calm themselves down and keep fishing. Me over, I'm about to lose my mind. I'm about to lose. Colby's still up there. That's them pros. They can keep doing it. They don't let it get to their head, and I will give him credit for that. He probably pulled me through to keep my head down and keep me fishing hard. That's what happened is.
Now, Cole, I know y'all have some Texas Team Trail and stuff coming up over there, and if y'all don't want to share, I totally get it, but I have to ask. I mean, that's 2 10-pounders, caught one on day one and lost one on day two. Can we talk about the bait, or was it the same bait, or so on and so forth?
He caught the first one on a crankbait the first day, and then second day lost it on a football jig. Not necessarily a bait. It was just It was just finding a few of them spots. That had them fish sitting there.
Right.
And it's not like none of it was really a live scope deal. Yeah, you could look up there and see them. You could see fish up there, but it was just casting up there and feeling the bottom. A lot of stumps, hardwood there, and good clay bottom.
Right.
But
usually it's on a big. It's usually on a crankbait that you lose them, not the jig.
Yeah.
Usually it's the other way around.
Well, like you said, he didn't lose it. It just got him.
It was wrapped around the stump. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He had it. I'd already counted it, and I was like, that. It's a wrap football jig, 20-pound line. Yeah. We got that one, and she had other plans.
Yeah.
But
so again,
kind of hurt us.
Go ahead, Cole. Go ahead.
Do what?
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's what kind of hurt us is we run our milk run, and we've had the bites to leave our stuff alone at 10 o'clock again, but we got 1 5-pounder in the boat, and we're at the time, the way them boys was catching them, we're not even going to make day 3.
Yeah.
So we had to run our stuff again and hair lip a bunch of them just to catch 21 or 22 pounds, what we did, just to survive.
Yeah.
So did wind ever play a factor in any of the, hard to believe you go to Rayburn for 3 or 4 days or 5 for practice and you never have wind as an issue, but was wind ever a factor?
Day three wind was an issue. Not necessarily. We was fortunate. The places we had was semi-protected. It was kind of rough there, but you were still able to fish them. But that wind was blowing so hard on day 3, you couldn't hardly run around and it really do much of anything. And honestly, all day 3, we run our milk run, and I guess we had caught most of the big ones off of there. We had one good one and just some 3.5 pounders to go with it. I would say the wind hurt us just like it did all the other guys from being able to gamble a little bit, maybe run down the lake, go try some other stuff to catch 1 or 2 of them big ones, because all day 3, we knew we needed, or in our minds, at least mid-20, 24 to 26 pounds to have a shot.
So let's talk about that.
It never happened. It just do what?
So let's talk about that. So day 1, you guys had 35.08. You had 2 other 30-pound sacks weighed in that day. and a ton of 27 to 29. Day 2, y'all weighed in 21.78. It got a little closer. Second place had 22. I think Mr. Tommy Martin and them caught 30 on day 1. They had 25 on day 2. It was close. Y'all still had the lead on day 2, but that lead got narrower. And then, so man, going
it did. That dang Zane Parker is on fire, and that's who he had 26 and then like 29.
He had 29 on day 1 and 26 on day 2. So yeah, I mean, there was about 5 or 6 of y'all, man.
Right.
Like day 3 on Sam Rayburn, whoever catches them on day 3. So we're fishing for 100. Cole, this ain't your usual. And you have fished a lot of tournaments over your small career here. I mean, how old are you now, Cole?
24.
24.
Oh, wow.
But Steve, he's been fishing. Shit, I was fishing tournaments with him when he was 10, 12 years old.
Yeah,
He's been fishing a long time, but
he ain't no rookie.
But man, look, we're talking about $150,000 here, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
what's the stress level like on Saturday night? And I know you and Colby, y'all are about as calm as they come, but dude, we're talking about $150,000.
Yeah, you're exactly right, man. And we was calm all day. As far as fishing, done our deal, had our head down. Really wasn't thinking about it because we had a mark to get in our head. At least mid-20s to start getting that fuzzy feeling in your stomach. All right, we got a chance at 150,000 now because there's 20 teams went out there, and there's too many big stringers coming in on Rayburn. So, and those top five was all within a pound or two. It was that close. That's what kind of hurt us. Was like, honestly, in our mind, we was like, man, day 2 we lost it because we should have had a little cushion, a little lead to maybe help us out on day 3, but we didn't. That's part of it. And so it went day 3, and man, like I say, just nothing would ever click. And we never talked about winning, never talked about having a chance because neither one of us thought we did. Drove all the way back. We put in on the north end, drove the truck all the way back, and
had 19 pounds on day 3.
It had 19, and so weigh-in starts, and Brandon Belt. It's pretty cool. Brandon Belt fishing has definitely got it going on as far as tournament trails. It's pretty sweet the way they do it, especially the final day. They had us, lined up and had people drive our trucks through there. It's pretty cool. Well,
yeah,
I think the first 15 teams weighs in, and as we got closer to the pavilion, you could hear it on intercom what the leader, what their weight was, their total. Well, man, we over there doing the math, and we're like, okay, we need 18 3/4, and our scale says 19. Like, what if something could be any kind of wrong, 1 ounce, and we're finna. It's the difference between 150,000 and second, which is I don't know what it is. It's a lot, big difference for sure. It probably didn't come down to like the last 3 trucks when we really got nervous. I don't know, nervous or whatever. It's just that feeling this could happen. Winning $150,000. That's the biggest tournament of your life or my life for sure.
Yeah,
and to have a shot at winning it.
And second place was 22 grand, by the way. So big difference.
Yeah, I tell you, I don't know who it was. Come by our boat. Maybe one of the tournament guys. He's like, y'all got it in the bag. We was like, no, we don't. If we lose, it's by an ounce. If we win, it's gonna be by an ounce. He's like, oh, that's interesting. As he's walking off, he's like, only $100 grand difference from what it comes out to be. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So kind of talking about the final results, y'all ended up with 76.01, won the event. Second place was 75.61. Third place was 75.02. Fourth place was 75.01. So you're right, man. It was freaking close, and I could not.
It made it a fun weigh-in.
Yeah, it really did. Well,
it did. It was fun. Made it a fun time for the crowd.
It was fun for you when you win it, but gosh.
Oh yeah. It makes it a lot more enjoyable.
Right.
Hey man.
Yes, sir.
Cole, you did a great job, you and Colby, and congratulations to both of you guys.
Having a hell of a year, both of you having a hell of a year.
Yeah, off to a good start. Your tax man's going to be busy, so.
That is correct. That is correct.
Yeah, and but anyhow, we're proud of you, man. Thank you for taking time to come on, be with us today, and And great detail. Give us some good insight as to how it all worked out. So
tell Colby it's his turn next.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Hey, like a couple people said before, if y'all are calling us, it's a good thing.
There you
There you go. Exactly right. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you,
Thanks,
man.
Cole.
Thank you, Cole.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
All right, we're going to take another quick break. We got 4 tournament results. We got upcoming tournaments, give you an idea what's fixing to take place on Toledo Bend and Rayburn. And we got some lake level reports, Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn. Sam Rayburn's falling hard, so pulling on it. But we'll be right back with more Tackle Talk Live.
Pride Rods, custom-built fishing rods made to handle any and all techniques. Fishing rods designed for sensitivity and made to last in Montgomery, Texas. Built by Billy Kistler with the finest Gary Loomis North Fork composite blanks available. They offer a complete line of spinning and casting rods for both fresh and salt water. Pride Rods do more than pass the eye test. They excel in performance as well. Ask your local tackle dealer if they carry Pride Rods and pick one up to try it for yourself. Take pride in your fishing by using Pride Rods. To learn more, go to priderods.com or call 832-418-6040. The Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency taking care of Texans' insurance needs for over 25 years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, RV, life, health, and commercial insurance. Owner Clark Moore is a local fishing guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs and wants to be your go-to guide for all your insurance needs. For a free quote, give him a call and see why so many Texans trust the Lake Insurance Agency. 2 locations to serve you in both Nacogdoches and Broadus, Texas. Or give him a call at 936-205-4467. The next time you're headed for Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, stop by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. They have an awesome supply of everything you'll need to catch the big ones. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or the ultimate fighting shiners, Keith's Tackle has you covered. Keith and former Elite Series pro Ben Matsubu also have the latest information on what, how, and where you need to be fishing on Sam Rayburn or the Bend. So for all your tackle needs, check out Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located just off Highway 21 on the Texas side of Toledo Bend, or call 409-625-0181. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
That's right. You're watching Tackle Talk Live. Hey, thank you for tuning us in today. We appreciate each and every one of you, and continue to spread the word. We would greatly appreciate that as well. This segment presented by Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Texas, 2 locations, one in Nacogdoches and one right there on the shore of Sam Rayburn in Broadus, Texas. Also Power Implements Marine, located right there in Iowa, Louisiana. Kevin, what happens when you mention Tackle Talk Live?
Mention Tackle Talk Live, you get $500 of purchase of of a new or used boat, whichever one you're interested in, or it will save you $50 on your service ticket. So, guys, make sure, one, go buy Power Implements Marine to get anything serviced, or check out their new or used boats, and also to save that $50 on that service ticket.
There you go. All right, Brandon Belt results from Sam Rayburn. We've kind of already gone over some of this. First place, Colby Miller, Cole Moore, 76.01 for a $150,000 win. Actually turned out to be $152 overall. So they had some bonus money they accumulated. Second place was Russell. Is that Paskett? I guess it is. Paskett. And Chris DiBerdino. On the South Louisiana teams, 75-61, finished for second place. Will Carstens and Ross Bryant were third with 75.02. Zane Parker, Billy Parker were fourth, 75.01. Easton Hickley and Kyle Dronsky were fifth with 73.89. Seth, let's see here. Boy, I tell you what, these names. What happened to John Smith and Michael Smith? And what happened to those names? And Laren Porter, they finished sixth with 73.82. Ross Jewell and Richard Bacon. There we go. Here we go. Normal names. 7th place, 71.41. Blake Martin, Tommy Martin, the legendary Tommy Martin, fishing with his son. They finished 8th with 71.35. Kevin, he's 80-something years old. Still making top tens. I mean, really? I mean, come on, man. That's just legendary stuff right there. 9th place, Will for Fabry, for Bray, and Shannon Price were 9th with 69.34. Ran out top 10. Cody Wynn and Blake Wynn, they had 67.63 for 10th. So, congratulations to all those guys. And I think you've got the Despino Tire results.
So, again, Despino Tire, non-4 faces sonar tournament Saturday on Toledo Bend had 281 boats. First place, Ronald and Richard Madul had 30 pounds, 35 ounces, paid them $20,000. Second place, Colby Basco, Randy Basco had 25.57 with an 11-pounder, 11.84 to be exact. Third place, Robert Moore, Anthony Clemens had 24.96. Fourth place, Lee Glass, David Bercier had 23.92. Fifth place, Donovan LaGrange, Craig Mesh had 23.75. Sixth place, Jeremy Bergeron, Frank Bergeron had 23 pounds even. Seventh place, Jimmy Johnson and Casey Fontana had 22.83. Eighth place, my old team partner Travis Merritt, Chance Arsenault had 22.62. Ninth place, Josh Peak, Chris Hazel had 22.32. And 10th place, Mark and Dylan Van Matry had 22.05, Steve. And it took, let me see, I have it here on my phone to say I think it took 16 pounds to get a check in that event.
Which was probably 50th place.
I got it right here. So
they paid the top 50 last year, I know.
We paid down to, Steve, we paid 69 places. 69th place was $15.48 for $250.
Wow.
You pay 69 places when you got 281 teams, Steve.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. BFL results, which went out of on Toledo Bend out of Sam McGill. Well, I'm looking at the wrong.
Tater Reynolds, first place.
Yep, I got the wrong list. You have to go over that, Kevin. I don't have
go
it.
Ahead. I don't have. You go ahead and find the BFL list if you can. I'm gonna go over. So Sunday they had the Battle of the Brands tournament right after the Despino tournament on Toledo Bend. Guys, this is the Battle of the Brands. This is the GSM Outdoors, Bill Lewis, Yamamoto, Big Bite Baits, Still Shad. I believe that was all of them. And it was an hourly deal, and then they have a first place overall big bass. I think they had 180 something entries, which it's not a team tournament. So, and man, Steve, they paid some really good money back. This is a great event for Toledo Bend. It brings more to the local area. Fishermen there, it's good for the tackle store, so on and so forth. And my understanding is they're going to come back again next year. I'm talking to Clint Wade. Their GSM is planning on having this event again next year at Toledo Bend. Guys, if we've got to support these kind of tournaments to keep them coming back to Toledo Bend, so make sure and try to support these if you can. Anyway, so for this event, there was a lot. Again, it was an hourly event, but the overall big bass caught was Corey Chesser, caught a 9.06, caught on a half-ounce Bill's Lewis rattle trap, weighed her in during the 8-9 o'clock hour, and won $4,000 in the Sportsman's Prize package for the overall big fish.
Wow. Congratulations, man. Good job. All right. Toledo Bend out of San Miguel. Tater Reynolds, first place, 20.03 for $3,030, basically $3,800 payday. Second place was Lane Hager, 18.04. Bill Cook was third with 17.08. Daniel Bryant was fourth with 16.13. Randy Brewer was fifth with 15.10. Brad Smith was sixth with 15.08. Reese Ray was seventh with 13.15 and with only 4 fish. Eighth was Charles Dubach. He had 13.13. Zach Fogel, fished against Zach the last couple of weeks over at Lake of the Pines. Good angler. Ninth place was 13.07. 10th place, Ricky Guy, rounding out the top 10 with 13.03. And I believe the last check was 17th place, Kinjay Yanada. He had 17th with 11.11. He got $272. Obviously, probably a little lower turnout than expected for the BFL since it's only playing that few places.
And Steve, let's talk about that. So you had Brandon Belt paid $150,000 on Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Sam Rayburn. Despino had 281 entries Saturday. BFL had just over 100 entries, I believe, on Saturday, and then that Brand. So let's talk about that for the Despino. Imagine what Despino would have had. He had 281 entries with the BFL going on and the Brandon Belt going on Sam Rayburn with well over 100 boats in that one as well. So imagine what he would have had if he had a weekend by himself.
Yeah, if it was just him going on over it, which he'll probably never have that again. Nobody does, unless you have it maybe November, December.
I'm talking about of tournaments of that caliber going on the same week.
Exactly. Yeah. And here's the question, Kevin. With the record number turnout for Despino Fishing for Kids event, will we see more tournaments take the same action on banning forward-facing sonar?
100% yes.
I think so too.
You're going to see it in these annual, like the Despino, and I have no idea if the Poche is going to do it. I'm just using that term for an example.
Benefit
type tournaments. I think you're going to see that, Steve. Again, I talked to a lot of people that fished that tournament said, Kevin, we turn electronics off for navigation purposes. But, man, we fish like we used to fish growing up. And for all of us older people like myself now, that's what's enjoyable for us. And you can just relax and fish. You
don't have to worry about somebody going out there and just
you just fish how you born, how you was raised, how you fish growing up.
And me and Kevin are not saying that we're against technology.
No,
we're not.
No.
We're not. We own them. We both got units. Yeah, and I use my unit.
Not saying that, but it would be. I hate that I was not able to fish it because I enjoy fishing that way, but I don't feel like you can fish that way in these big tournaments anymore and win. So you have you have to do that, and that's just where our game's at today. We can take this conversation a whole lot different directions. That's for another day. But man, it would be fun to fish a tournament again, just to fish how we used to fish.
Yeah. Okay, upcoming events. We got the Trey Burford Memorial Tournament this weekend, Toledo Bend out of Sam and Gill. Kevin, we got the Red Crest coming up on Lay Lake starting this week, Thursday. This week, starting on Thursday on Lay Lake. Dustin Connell from talking to some of the MLF pros. He's kind of the guy that local favorite.
Him and Jesse
Wiggins. Be the guy to pick.
Him and Jesse Wiggins, I would say.
Wiggins is another guy they've mentioned. Bassmaster Classic starts the following week, March 22nd through the 24th in Grand Lake, Oklahoma.
And then the
Cliff Pace is one.
Yeah, sorry. And then I was saying, and I'll be at the Classic next week, so I won't be. I'll be Poche next weekend on Toledo Bend on the 24th.
Yeah,
23rd.
Another 23rd. Big. That's another huge following. A great event put on by the Poche family, and I mean family. Yeah. There's a bunch of them are involved in that. They work on it all year long. And a lot of times even Keith, the MLF pro, former BASS pro, will come in and sign autographs, and he'll be a part of the event. I don't know if he's coming in or not, but it's just a great family deal, and for a great cause for the Northwestern State Fishing Team. And just absolutely, they do a wonderful job. It's just gotten bigger and bigger each and every year. Bert and Shelley, y'all do a great job with that. Absolutely. I mean, hats off. Texas Team Trail Rayburn, March 23rd. ABA Louisiana Pro League, a new circuit here in Louisiana. Second tournament will be on Lake Despino, March 23rd out of State Park. And then the MLF Toyota Series, Kevin, will be on Toledo Bend, March 26th and 28th. That's what I'm showing. I don't know if you have anything.
That's most of it from March.
Lake levels, real quick. Toledo Bend, 169.93. It's 2.07 feet low right now. 10-day loss of 7.92 inches. 24-hour loss. Doesn't have a report for that. Sam Rayburn, 159.93. It's 4.47 feet low. They're drawing it, pulling it hard. 10-day loss of 2.01 feet in 10 days. 24-hour loss of 2.28 inches.
Steve, you know how much water they have to pull to have a 24-hour loss of 2.28 inches? That's a lot of freaking water.
That's a lot of water going through. You're right.
Oh, man.
You're right. And Kevin, I do have one thing for product of the week real quick. And I know I've given you one of these, and I've given 2 or 3 of these away. I found these behind a grocery store, and they were going to throw them away. And I looked at it, and I thought, you know what? That would make a good spool holder for fishing line. And I'm telling y'all right now, if you find these, this is an old Dr. Pepper Snapple container that they had their 3 liters in. As you can see, this fishing line fits absolutely perfect in these slots. And you can stack them in there, and you can spool them right out of the container. I'm telling you right now, I wish I had thought of this because I'd love to market this sucker. But I'm telling you right now, these things are absolutely awesome. You can't buy it. You'll have to find them somewhere. And but maybe you'll get lucky like I did and find 2 or 3 of those. But I've given 3 or 4 of them away that I found. And I'm telling you right now, they're just perfect for holding your fishing line, transporting your line. Put them in the back of your truck, take it with you on your trips, wherever. It's just a great container for transporting fishing line, and you just spool right out of it. You don't even got to take them out. So, but anyway, Kevin, you got anything?
I think that does it for me for the week, Steve.
All right, that's all I got, and we'll be back next week. And once again, we'll have some great results from the tournaments that are going on this week. And again, we want to thank y'all for tuning us in. We appreciate each and every one of you guys for all the comments you give us. Can't say thank you enough. Please check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, however way you listen to podcasts. If you'd like to become a member of our sponsorship team, or if you know somebody that could use some good advertisement on a really good program where we're averaging over 2,000 views a week, sometimes up to 4,000 views a week. Hey, great exposure. And so at a very affordable price,
yes,
as Kevin can tell you. Please message us on our Facebook page if you're interested, and Kevin will make sure he gets a packet out to you with all the details. For Kevin Jean, yours truly, Steve Graff. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week with more Tackle Talk Live.